Growing pineapple in a desert begins long before a single plant touches the soil. The first and most critical step is selecting the right desert location. Not every desert is suitable. Farmers carefully choose areas where the land is relatively flat, slightly sandy but not pure sand, and where underground water sources or canal access is possible. Usually semi-desert regions near oases, dry plains, or reclaimed barren land are preferred. These areas may look lifeless at first glance, but with proper planning, they hold hidden potential. Farmers study wind direction, sun exposure, and soil texture before committing, because pineapple plants need strong sunlight, but protection from extreme sandstorms. Once the land is selected, the real struggle begins: cleaning the field. Desert land is often covered with dry shrubs, thorny bush, wild grass, and hard roots that have survived years without water. Workers start by cutting these bushes manually or with heavy clearing machines. Thick shrubs are uprooted completely to prevent regrowth. In some areas, controlled burning is avoided to protect soil nutrients, so mechanical removal is preferred. Every unwanted plant is collected and removed from the field, sometimes reused as organic matter later. This stage is exhausting but essential, as pineapple roots are shallow and cannot compete with wild vegetation. After surface cleaning, the field is prepared for plowing. Desert soil is usually compacted and hard due to years of dryness. Heavy tractors with deep plows are used to break the soil layers. Plowing is done multiple times, first deep to loosen the ground and then shallow to refine it. This process improves aeration and helps future roots spread easily. Stones and hard clumps are removed during this stage. In large farms, laser land leveling machines are used to ensure the field is perfectly even, which is critical for uniform irrigation later. Next comes soil improvement, a step that determines success or failure. Desert soil lacks organic matter, so farmers enrich it heavily before planting. Well-decomposed animal manure, compost, and organic waste are spread across the field using mechanical spreaders. In addition, specific fertilizers rich in potassium and phosphorus are mixed into the soil, as pineapple requires strong root and fruit development. Soil testing is done to adjust pH levels, often using gypsum or sulfur to balance alkalinity. This preparation turns lifeless sand into a productive growing medium. Water management is the heart of deserty desert farming. Pineapple does not need excessive water, but it needs consistent moisture. Large-scale drip irrigation systems are installed before planting. Pipes are laid across the entire field, with emitters placed exactly where each plant will grow. Water tanks, reservoirs, or underground pumps supply water, often connected to solar-powered systems due to the desert environment. This method reduces water waste and protects plants from overwatering, which is dangerous for pineapple roots. While the field is being prepared, pineapple seedlings are raised separately. These are not grown from seeds, but from crowns, slips, or suckers taken from mature pineapple plants. Selected planting material is cleaned, treated against fungus, and allowed to dry slightly to prevent rot. Healthy seedlings are chosen based on size and strength. Timing is important. Planting usually begins when extreme heat reduces slightly, often early morning or late afternoon, to avoid stress on young plants. By the time seedlings are ready, the desert field has transformed. What was once dry, cracked land now has structured soil, controlled water lines, and organized rows marked for planting. This stage marks the foundation of pineapple farming in the desert. Everything done so far determines how the crop will respond to heat, wind, and time. The desert has not been defeated yet, but it has been prepared for life. Once the desert field is fully prepared, leveled, enriched, and irrigated, the most sensitive phase begins: planting pineapple in an environment that naturally resists life. Timing is everything. Farmers avoid peak summer weeks and choose a planting window when daytime heat is manageable, usually during early spring or late summer. Planting is always done in early morning or just before sunset so young plants do not face direct heat stress. Rows are marked with precision, keeping equal spacing to allow airflow, sunlight penetration, and easy machine movement later. Planting in large desert farms is mostly mechanized. Special planting machines create small pits in the soil and place pineapple suckers at the correct depth. The crown or sucker is positioned upright, ensuring the growing point stays above soil level to prevent rotting. In areas where machines cannot reach, trained workers plant manually, pressing soil gently around the base to secure the plant. Each plant is immediately connected to a drip emitter so it receives water without delay. The first irrigation is light but consistent, just enough to help roots settle. The early growth stage is the most fragile. Pineapple roots are shallow, and in desert soil, temperature fluctuations can damage them. To protect moisture and soil temperature, farmers often apply organic mulch or plastic mulch sheets between rows. This reduces evaporation, prevents weed growth, and protects roots from extreme heat. Windbreaks such as temporary net barriers or planted hedges are also installed to protect young plants from sandstorms, which can physically damage leaves and reduce growth. Irrigation management during this phase is carefully controlled. Unlike flood irrigation, drip systems release water slowly and directly to the root zone. Moisture sensors are installed in the soil to monitor water levels. Overwatering can cause root rot, while underwatering can stunt growth. Farmers adjust irrigation schedules based on temperature, wind speed, and plant response. During hotter days, irrigation frequency increases slightly but remains shallow. Fertilizers are often applied through the irrigation system, a technique known as fertigation, ensuring nutrients reach roots efficiently. As plants begin to establish themselves, nutrient management becomes crucial. Pineapple plants require nitrogen for leaf growth, potassium for strength, and magnesium for photosynthesis. In desert conditions, nutrients leach quickly, so smaller doses are applied frequently rather than heavy applications. Foliar sprays are used to deliver micronutrients directly to leaves, especially when soil absorption is limited. These sprays are applied early morning to avoid leaf burn and to maximize absorption. Pest and disease control in the desert presents unique challenges. Dry environments reduce some fungal diseases, but insects such as mealybugs, mites, and ants can spread quickly. Because fields are large, farmers rely on tractor-mounted sprayers that cover wide areas efficiently. Integrated pest management is followed, combining biological control, monitoring traps, and targeted spraying. Spraying schedules are strictly followed, and chemicals are rotated to prevent resistance. Workers regularly inspect plants, looking for leaf discoloration, curling, or slow growth, which may indicate early pest attacks. As weeks pass, the plants begin showing strong, upright leaves with a healthy green color. This signals successful establishment. The desert sun, once the enemy, now becomes an ally, driving photosynthesis and steady growth. Farmers continue monitoring soil moisture, leaf health, and nutrient balance. Machines move carefully between rows for spraying and inspection, designed to avoid damaging plants. Every action is calculated because mistakes at this stage can affect fruit quality months later. By the end of this phase, pineapple plants are no longer fragile. Their root systems are established, leaves are thicker, and the field begins to resemble a living green carpet against the harsh desert backdrop. Survival turns into growth. The foundation laid during planting and early care now prepares the crop for the next critical stage: flowering induction, fruit development, and the long wait toward harvest. After months of careful growth and strict monitoring, the pineapple plants enter the most critical and rewarding phase: flowering and fruit development. In desert farming, flowering is rarely left to chance. Farmers use controlled flower induction techniques to ensure uniform fruiting across the entire field. At the right plant maturity stage, when leaves reach optimal length and thickness, a safe and measured dose of growth regulators is applied. This is usually done using tractor-mounted sprayers that move slowly across wide rows, ensuring even coverage. Proper timing of this step is essential, because early induction results in small fruits, while late induction causes uneven harvests. Within a few weeks of induction, the first signs of flowering appear. A compact flower bud emerges from the center of each plant, slowly rising upward. In the desert environment, heat management becomes crucial during this phase. Extreme temperatures can cause flower abortion or deformities. To counter this, irrigation schedules are adjusted to maintain stable soil moisture, and misting systems are sometimes used during peak heat hours to cool the canopy. Shade nets may also be temporarily installed in the most exposed areas to protect developing flowers from direct sun damage. As flowering completes, fruit formation begins. Each flower fuses together to form a single pineapple fruit, growing gradually from the center of the plant. During this stage, nutrient demand increases significantly. Potassium becomes the most important element, as it influences fruit size, sweetness, and firmness. Fertilization continues through drip systems, while foliar feeding supports leaf health. Farmers carefully monitor leaf color, as pale or scorched leaves can directly impact fruit quality. Any nutrient imbalance is corrected immediately to avoid long-term damage. Pest and disease management remains active throughout fruit development. Although desert conditions limit fungal pressure, insects are still a risk. Regular scouting is conducted using both human inspection and drone monitoring. If pests are detected, targeted spraying is carried out during cooler hours to protect fruit surfaces. Chemical use is minimized close to harvest to ensure food safety. Weeds are kept under control mechanically or with approved herbicides, preventing competition for water and nutrients. Fruit enlargement continues over several weeks, with pineapples gaining weight and developing their characteristic texture. Farmers check fruit size, firmness, and external appearance regularly. Protective measures are taken to prevent sunburn on the fruit surface, such as adjusting leaf positioning or applying natural protective sprays. Wind protection also remains important, as strong desert winds can tilt plants or damage developing fruit. As maturity approaches, visible changes signal readiness. The fruit base begins to turn from deep green to a lighter yellow shade, and a subtle sweet aroma becomes noticeable. Leaves near the fruit lose their intense green color, indicating nutrient transfer into the fruit. Irrigation is gradually reduced at this stage to concentrate sugars and improve flavor. Harvest timing is planned carefully, as pineapples do not ripen further once picked. Harvesting in large desert farms is a coordinated operation. Workers equipped with sharp tools cut fruits carefully, leaving enough stem to protect the crown. In some farms, semi-mechanical harvesters assist workers by transporting fruit directly from rows to collection bins. Harvesting is done early morning to avoid heat stress on fruit and workers. Each pineapple is handled gently to prevent bruising, which can reduce market value. Post-harvest handling begins immediately. Fruits are sorted in the field or nearby facilities based on size, weight, and quality. Damaged or undersized fruits are separated. Selected fruits are cleaned, cooled, and packed in ventilated crates. Temperature and humidity control is critical during storage and transport, especially in desert regions. Cold storage units help preserve freshness until the fruit reaches markets or processing centers. The final stage reflects the success of the entire journey. What began as barren desert land now produces high-quality pineapples through science, planning, and persistence. Desert pineapple farming proves that with modern techniques, efficient water use, and disciplined management, even the harshest environments can become productive. Each harvested fruit represents months of calculated decisions, careful labor, and respect for nature's limits. The desert does not give easily, but with knowledge and commitment, it can be transformed into a source of abundance.